I'm really excited about a lot of his ideas, especially when it comes to bringing the soldiers home. I've been serving for 10 years now, and all 10 years of those have been during wartime. I'd like to see a little peacetime army, and I think he has the right idea.
Now, you have done 2 tours in Afghanistan. You told me you're going to go back for a 3rd tour. I mean, if you can see your neck right there, what you have on your tattoo, 9/11, remember, and a picture of the Twin Towers. You know, some Republicans out there have been saying that Ron Paul would be very dangerous for this country because he wants to bring troops like you back from your post from all over the world.
Well, I think it would be even more dangerous to start nitpicking wars with other countries. Someone like Iran, Israel is more than capable of.
All right, we just lost our connection, unfortunately, with Dana. Dana, stand by if you can hear me. We're going to get back. You want to go to Candy Crowley over at Mitt Romney headquarters.
Now, I have another speaker, a special guest tonight. He's been with us this evening. Matter of fact, he's been with us in our campaign for quite a few years. And you may have met him because he's been around here this evening. But I'd like him to come out and say a few words. He's been serving in the military for 10 years, and he's been overseas a lot. A lot of it was in Iraq and Afghanistan. And he was on TV tonight, and he didn't quite get to finish his statement. So I've asked him if he would come out and make his comments about why he supports our foreign policy, why he is fighting for the Constitution, and what he thinks we should do. But I would like to invite out now Jesse Thorsen to come out and say a few words to you. Thank you.
How about Ron Paul? If there's any man out there that's had a vision for this country, it is definitely him. His foreign policy is by far, hands down, better than any candidates out there, and I'm sure you all know that. We don't need to be picking fights overseas, and I think everybody else knows that too. I'm flabbergasted right now. This is an incredible moment for me. I can't believe it. It's like meeting a rock star. But you know what? We're going to go to New Hampshire. We're all going to get involved. We're going to keep getting online. We're going to keep talking to people. And we are going to make sure this man is the next president of the United States.
Cpl Jesse Thorsen. Did you see him?
Yes.
Hello, Ron Paul. Oh, this all looked like it was in good fun, didn't it? But he could be in some serious trouble for taking to the mic at Ron Paul's post-caucus rally in Iowa. The Army says it's now investigating whether this corporal violated military policy by speaking.
Hello everyone, I'm Jesse Thorsen. I'd like to start by saying that the views and opinions expressed here are mine and mine alone, and in no way represent those of the DoD, the U.S. Army, or the fine soldiers that serve in it. To my supporters, I'd like to say thank you, not just for supporting me, but for supporting constitutional liberty and freedom and Ron Paul. To my opposers, I know many of you are military, and, you know, I understand. I get it. I broke a regulation. The regulation book is pretty big. It's a big book with lots of regulations, some of which include, you know, talking and walking on the cell phone while you're in uniform, or stepping on the grass on a military installation. You know, if you've never broke any of these regulations, then kudos to you. You're a wonderful human being for abiding by every little rule out there. Thank you. But thank you for your service also. I think it takes a special breed of people to raise their hand and say, yes, I'll serve to defend my country. But for those of you that say, I'm a disgrace to the uniform, I have to differ with you a little bit on that. This is a disgrace to the uniform. And this is a disgrace to the uniform. These kind of atrocities that happen all the time. And if you've served overseas, you've either seen them or heard of them. People putting AK-47s in their vehicles in case they hit the wrong house, or the hatred that goes out towards people there. You know, I went to Afghanistan with an open mind, wanted to learn about their culture and support the people that we're there to protect, supposedly. And when I left, I was blinded by hatred and dissent for an entire population of people. And I really had to take a step back and look in the mirror and reevaluate myself before I realized that this is wrong. So about Afghanistan. October 14th, 2001, Congress passed resolution to use military action against those responsible for the 9/11 attacks. Osama bin Laden, Al-Qaeda, and anyone supporting or harboring or planning these attacks were now targets of the United States military. I completely agree with this decision. I think that the people responsible for these attacks need to be brought to justice and need to face the consequences for the mass murder of thousands of American civilians. I think it's ironic that when the people of Afghanistan say, we want you to leave, or when the people of Iraq say, it's time for you to go, that we deny their voices and say, no, we are here to occupy. Now, I want to remind people, I raised my hand, I made an oath to defend and support this country and this Constitution, and to follow the orders that are given to me. So when I go back to Afghanistan, I will follow my orders. I will do my duty. So let's now talk about Iraq. In October of 2002, Congress approved a resolution to use military force against Iraq. Some of the reasons included harboring Al-Qaeda and trying to gain and use weapons of mass destruction. These allegations ended up becoming proved false. But still, thousands of people were sent into harm's way into that country. I ask you why. I asked several soldiers that I serve with now, or that I know who have served in Iraq, do you feel now that we've pulled out of Iraq that you have completed your mission? Do you feel like you've liberated the people of Iraq? Do you feel like anything you've done over there was worthwhile? And every one of them look at me and say, I just don't know. I don't know if it was worth my brothers dying in vain. I don't know if our sacrifices there were worth it. This is a sad, sad thing, to not even know if the war you were fighting was worth it. The people I've talked to who served in World War II, every one of them say, yes, we defeated Nazi Germany. Yes, we won our war. And Americans, veterans today, can't even say the same sentiments. But I want to come to the biggest issue here, which is Ron Paul, the choice of the troops, the champion of the people. He has a vision for this country. One of the few politicians left in American politics that actually cares a heartfelt obligation to the American people. If anyone out there doesn't know anything about Ron Paul, let me explain a few things. First of all, he served in the military. He was drafted into the military, and he showed up. He was a congressman for Texas. This man has served his country and served his people. He's one of the only ones out there that says, let's cut off all of our foreign aid to countries. Israel, hey, they have said they are more than capable of defending themselves.
You don't need to do nation building in Israel. We're already built. You don't need to export democracy to Israel. We've already got it. And you don't need to send American troops to Israel. We defend ourselves.
Ron Paul is a brilliant, brilliant man. And the night I went up on stage at the Iowa caucus was one of the most memorable experiences I'll ever have in my life. Why is it, do you think, that Ron Paul has more support from military, veterans, and active duty personnel than any other candidate out there, including President Obama? Because we understand his foreign policy is the best for this country. We understand what it's like to go to war. And we understand that more wars is going to bring nothing but pain and suffering and financial debt to this country. But companies like KBR or other corporations out there are going to make a big profit off it. And he understands this. And what pains me the most is the media attention he gets. Media, this goes out directly to you. You claim to be unbiased and objective, but you are the most biased, agendaed group of people I have ever seen in my life. You are like vultures that prey on people and try to get a story and twist the truth and facts to further whatever agenda you're being told to do. It is disgusting the way you portray Dr. Ron Paul on the television. And to the people out there that think the television is God, that listen to everything that it says, you really need to wake up and read between the lines. If you don't think for a minute that the media has a political agenda, then you are sorely mistaken. And they don't report facts, they report what they want you to hear. Even in Afghanistan, I couldn't believe the reports I heard, how derogatory and misleading they were. I can't tell you how many other soldiers came to me and said, I can't believe they said that. We're here. We know this is not what's going on. I'd like to give a shout out to somebody that I think is doing a great job for America, and that's Adam Kokos. I want you to keep up the good fight, and I support you 100%. You can email me at corporalthorsen@gmail.com. That's Cpl Thorsen@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing your comments, and so I'd like to end tonight by again thanking all of my supporters out there and thanking every one of you for standing up for Ron Paul. Please get out there and vote. Get people to go vote with you. This is very important. We need Ron Paul. The security and the future of our country depends on it.